We're on. Got your name.
All right, I'm convening
Called you on that.
the Finance Assessment and Taxation Committee. Present are members O'Brien and Ballerin and myself, and also council members Conti and Hoey and Anane and Kimbrough, and we have our wonderful staff, Michelle and JR, and in the back we've got, I did, I said Councilmember Anane. I made him sound official, I was using his official title. He doesn't always go that fancy, but we went for it tonight. We have our Corp Counsel, Marisa, and the brand new Corp Counsel, who you'll have to remind me of your name. Brett Williams. And we will actually be voting on something impacting him this very evening. So everybody on your best behavior. First up, we have 3.12.20, a resolution of the Common Council consenting to an adjustment in salary for certain positions in the 2020 budget APD. The descriptions for these were sent out, and it's basically a small increase in salary for the position of vehicle maintenance coordinator, a $2,530 salary. They hope to use vacancy savings for it, so they don't see any fiscal impact. Is there any questions or discussions on this? If there are none, could I get a motion? O'Brien moves. Can I get a second? Ballerin seconds. All in favor? Aye. That is unanimous. Next up, we have 8.21.20, resolution of the Common Council consenting to the creation of a full-time position which will affect a salary total for the 2020 budget. Corporation Council. And this is not Brett, but this is for the creation of the position for the city's RISE grant. So for 2 years, that position will be covered underneath the city's RISE grant, and it's really to focus on getting those codes violations through the process, which is one of the pieces that the Corp Counsel's office, because of staffing, has not been fully able to do. But with this, they can really go in full guns a-blazing and kind of get these through, which I know would be a huge benefit in my ward, and I can't even imagine the benefit in the other wards. Marisa is here if there's any questions.
So this is being, the person's being hired for a 2-year period. That person being aware that it's grant funded and not necessarily going to continue into a 3rd year, although it might continue into a 3rd year?
Yeah, so the idea that position will pay for itself after those 2 years because the amount of increased collections we'll be able to do. Right now, the collections are minimal for us, code enforcement is minimal, very minimal. So the idea is the position will be able to pay for itself after 2 years.
So the amount of potential collections as far as fines, et cetera, can be around that amount?
Once we up our prosecutions, or at least partially. I mean, maybe not 100%, but
Of course, compliance might be fines down.
absolutely. And we, we do track these things month by month, and we have been working more towards.
Yeah, the main question, the person who will be hired will understand it's a 2-year with no guarantee of the 3rd.
Yes, they will.
Excellent. Do we have any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I just want to put out a suggestion. For the individual that takes this position, if we can help as it relates to creating any type of ordinance or legislation to support their initiatives, don't hesitate. This is really, I think, one of the big problems here in the city of Albany as it relates to urban blight and vacant abandoned property. So if we could be of any help to support the mission.
Absolutely, and the mayor feels very strongly that this position, it's going to be a lot of code enforcement and collection work, but we really want this person to take interdepartmental, big picture look at how we're doing this, look at state law, look at local law, and see how we can do it better. So that is going to be one thing that's happening for the legislation. This person will certainly be here before you, I hope, with some suggestions on how we can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next one, boy, I'm jumping ahead. Any other questions? Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Valorant moves. Can I get a second?
A second, we don't have any public comment pending, right? Nobody signed up.
Not that I know of. Do we have any?
No.
Would you like to speak?
No.
Just, we have one public, so I figure I can just ask the public.
No, he's a reporter.
All in favor? Aye. It passes unanimously. 10.21.20, resolution of the Common Council consenting to the creation of a full-time position which will affect a salary total for the 2020 budget. This is also a Cities Rise grant, a 2-year initiative for the Department of Housing and Community Development. And this is to kind of, this is something that Sam spoke about when he was here. It sounds like an incredible thing. So an advocate to provide education and training to tenants and landlords on policies, rights, and responsibilities, to kind of have some advocacy involved in the tenant-landlord process. So again, a 2-year position. I'm assuming that since we don't have somebody here to answer that question, I'm assuming that is, usually it's something that's part of the conversation, but we can certainly double check if that's it.
I thought it was a full-time position.
It is full-time.
It is.
I thought it says part-time here. I don't
Does
know.
it?
Yeah, title. Consenting to the creation of a part-time position. Which affects the salary.
Yeah.
No, mine says full-time.
Mine
No,
says
there's a conflict in the memo.
Yeah, it's the resolution has the correct title,
Okay.
reading the memo which doesn't.
Gotcha. That's fine.
And I assume
If I was on the council, I was about to apply.
Yeah.
I assume this is also some
Well, it is still
position that would be funded at,
I'm about to apply, Alfredo.
a budget, and then it qualifies as a
I think I'll be awesome at this position.
I would imagine if they have open positions.
it's a strong salary for part-time.
So hopefully we'll be able to hold these positions for our.
Oh, actually, I have an update on with this position. I'm hearing that there's 100 people applied for it. Yeah, applicants, yeah.
Well, that is something that we,
No, I was speaking to Sam Wells about it because I was that's fine, whatever.
I did have a question. I received an email from, I'm not sure if you all received it as well, from, about this position, regarding maybe, instead of hiring a person, hiring United Tenants to do the work, instead of hiring just one individual to do the work. Is that something that anyone looked into as a possibility, and if that would save any dollars?
I can't speak to that. I haven't been involved in this position at all, recently the position, but I would imagine the grant language is pretty specific to one FTE, but it would be really a question for Bay, I think.
Would it be okay if we table it until we have someone that can answer that question?
I mean, I personally would rather not, because I'd like to continue moving forward with this. It's a really important program, and I would hate to hold it up because of that, especially because that's something that we could have answered before this point. And it'll be quite some time before, and we'd be pushing the clock quite some time. And I think that if that was a situation that they felt was a preferred situation through the grant, then they would have done that. That's just in my past life as a grant writer, that was, you would always go to the optimal situation. So.
And did United Tenants, they aren't here tonight, I assume they
Yeah.
knew about the meeting. Did they make any inquiry to that?
I don't know. I think we all received
I
the
think
same
we
email.
emailed Dominic.
It went from Dominic,
I don't think I got
Yeah.
that either.
I had this thrown out.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, we don't know what's going to happen in 2 years either. Potentially, that could be something that that position is not decided to be continued on, they could certainly work with United Tenants. United Tenants does a great deal of good work, but I would hate to hold up anything. Just our processes take time, and to hold it up, something that's so important, I think, for the people that live in our city.
Yeah, I think it would be important to have someone on staff to get the program up and running, and then maybe once it's up and running, a partnership would be a realistic option. But I do think they want that person in her office so that she can help guide the program moving forward and the establishment of the new program.
Right, and I would say from the meeting the other night, Caucus and Sam spoke, he's doing a lot of this work now himself.
Yeah.
So the person would be partnering with them, and it'd be good for the person to be in the office with him.
Yeah.
Working on this.
So I would make a motion for a favorable recommendation.
And since we are,
Without recommendation?
A favorable.
Favorable? Can we do a non-recommendation? Just to get it out for everybody to vote? Just because I do wish we had someone here to speak, and I wish we had someone from United Tenants here to speak as well.
which, that's a request that should be made
Yeah, I agree.
beforehand.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Just because we, you know,
So Alfredo, are you making a motion to get it out of
To
committee?
get it out of committee so it can go to the floor without
I'll
recommendation.
second that.
I'm confused. I mean, you guys are asking the same thing. It's going to be voted on tonight?
No, two different motions.
Well, the council's
Yeah,
gonna vote on it.
favorable to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
amended. No
or no
recommendation.
recommendation. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up, we have 12.21.20, resolution of the Common Council consenting to an adjustment in salary for certain positions in the Law Department for the 2020 budget. And this is where we have Brett. Basically, Marissa, and you are welcome to correct me at any point or jump in. She moved things around in her office, realized that in her new leadership position that she didn't need one position and didn't need two positions and did need another. And so found a great person to fill that position. And so there is not a fiscal impact, it is just a shift in titles, really.
Yeah, my plan as far as, keeping our employees longer in the law department is sort of to spread that money around so that I can keep the good people that I have. So I eliminated that other second deputy position, hired Brett at a lower level, and then spread the rest of that money around to the lowest, the attorneys that made the lowest amount.
Great. Are there any questions?
Yeah, you're at a full complement now, right?
I'm sorry, yeah, oh yeah, we are, except for the code enforcement attorney, we're fully staffed, which is unusual for us.
Woohoo.
But yeah, it's fantastic. Things are humming along, and we're looking forward to having a close person.
Any other questions? If not,
I was just going to say, Marissa, can you just go over, like, who's, right now, who's doing, just generally doing what?
We'll start,
Because it's easy to lose track.
this is off the top of my
well,
head.
would it be
but I don't have
possible,
my-
I mean, I would almost rather have that in writing, just
Oh, yeah, that
unless,
would be great, too.
could you maybe just send that to us in
Something
writing?
So it's easy enough. So yeah, I think the general, divvy up, everyone does the general functions of the law department, which is traffic court, parking enforcement, and then there's specialties as far as each attorney is assigned to certain courts, and each attorney is assigned to certain general tasks. So we're doing a lot of cross-training lately, so everyone knows how to do everything. But I can certainly send you my general staff out there.
That would be,
Okay, that's helpful, just because there has been a lot of changes.
Yes.
yeah.
So it's good to know who to reach out to.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there are no other questions, could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Val?
There's
Pass
no
favor-
public comment pending.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
That's unanimous. All right, we are done with the Finance Committee meeting. Unless there is a public that would like to comment?
Related to, I think they told, that was the email